Hi, my name is Maddie. I'm a full-time reseller and I wanted to start making some what sold videos. I picked about 14 items that I sold last week. They're not all the items that I sold, but I felt like these ones were unique, interesting, or just had some sort of educational aspect that I thought would be beneficial to share with people who are new to reselling or looking for new niches to try out. My main three niches are artisan dollhouse miniatures, 1960s Marx playset pieces, and plush, any plush, vintage, modern, anything. And just for some background information, I sell on eBay, Mercari, Poshmark, Etsy, Facebook Marketplace, and Bonanza. I also do Depop, but um, Depop has a completely different set of inventory than all the other places. The other platforms, everything starts on eBay and it gets cross-posted out. Depop is the clothes and shoes I sell on there are not on any other platforms. So I decided to not include Depop items in this video. But if there's some sort of demand to see the sales that I have on Depop, I definitely could make a separate video or just include them at the end another video like this next week. But I do have about 2,000 sales on Depop, so I have some stuff I could share if there was demand for that. But yeah, let's get started. Okay, the first thing I sold was this Penguin Pals Ritual Pet. It's kind of like a Tamagotchi, but not by Bandai, by MGA. And I put in the title that this was new in the packaging, but untested, because although it was new and sealed, the battery, the original battery inside the toy had died. So technically, I couldn't test it unless I wanted to open it. And I felt like there was more value in it if I kept the packaging sealed, but just sold it as untested. And then to make sure I didn't get like an item not as described or something, I protected myself by putting the condition as used instead of new. I'm not sure if maybe that was like I didn't need to do that or something like that, but I just felt like it was better safe than sorry. So I marked it used. I just put in the title that it was new but untested. And I bought that for $7 at an antique mall, and it sold for $45, best offer, and the buyer was all in for $53.76. Okay, this next item is just a little cake topper or minifigure. It is Sharky from Disney's Jake and the Neverland Pirates, which I'm not familiar with, but Google Lens was able to help me identify this. Apparently, this is a more of a harder to find cake topper, so it did sell for the full asking price of $14.99, and the buyer was all in for $21.35. Oh, and I got this at a garage sale. Um, this woman had a tub of a bunch of these little cake toppers, and I kind of just asked her how much she wanted for the whole tub. And after everything was said and done, I think I have like maybe 50 cents into this one, so not very much. Okay, the next item is this Popeye plush. I put in the title that there are flaws and to read the description because I sell actually a lot of plush with stains and issues, and I don't have a problem selling them. I guess we'll knock a few dollars off the price, and these things will sell even though they're damaged. So don't be afraid to list damaged stuff. But I got this in a buyout, and um, after I think I had about $1 into this, and it sold for an offer that I sent out of $15.50. And this buyer was in Portugal, so it went international through the global shipping program, and they actually were all in for $53.32. So they spent over $50 for a damaged plush that isn't even vintage or anything like that. So don't overlook these kinds of things. The next item is this plush of Gopher from Winnie the Pooh, which apparently is a harder to find plush. Kind of like these smaller side characters aren't as mass produced as, say, like Pooh or Piglet. So collectors will be on the hunt for characters like this one. So this one sold for a best offer of $31.10. I had it listed pretty high, but the person sent me a message saying they're a Pooh collector and they have been looking for this plush forever, and they understand that it's hard to find, but they would appreciate if I just consider the offer. And I only had 25 cents into this item. I got it at like a big flea market, so I just let it go for $31.10. And the buyer was all in for $59.94 because they lived in Canada. So they paid almost $60 for just this plush. Next is this person bought 3 longaberger forks. They sent me an offer of $25 for each one, so they were all in for $75. Or, no, they paid $75, and they were all in for $96.86 for 3 forks. I got these at an estate sale. The person who had lived in the house was a longaberger collector, and the estate sale had really marked up a lot of the longaberger baskets, but everything else, um, the flatware, the cups, the bags, everything else was kind of not that expensive. So I picked up a baggie of longaberger flatware for $5, and 3 of those forks, again, sold for $75 plus shipping. The next is this artisan dollhouse miniature. It's like a wooden file card box that opens up. It was signed by the artist, and I got this in a lot. I think I had about $5 into it, and it sold for an offer that I sent out of $45. The buyer was all in for $80.15 because they lived in Germany. So you can see the penny in the photo. Like, this is a very, very small item, but they paid $80 for it to be shipped to Germany, which is pretty cool. The next item is this snail plush. I kind of paid up for this item, like for a plush. I paid $3 for this at Goodwill. It sold for the full asking price of $29.99. It sold in just a few days, and the buyer was all in for $38.99. And I mostly just picked this up because since I sell a lot of plush, if I see something that I don't recognize, I kind of instinctively know to pick it up because I'm just kind of interested in it because I've never seen anything like it. And this ended up being a pretty good buy. So pretty happy with that. The next item is this Petite Princess Ideal grand piano accessory. It's the metronome that goes on the grand piano. I bought this in a lot of Petite Princess dollhouse stuff. I paid up for it, but it ended up being a pretty good purchase. I think I probably have $1 into this, and in the title I put that there's a flaw because it's actually missing like the ticker. I don't really know what it's called in a metronome, but the little ticker thing is missing. But this item is from the 1960s, made in Japan. So the smaller pieces are often what collectors will have a hard time finding because they were lost in the 1960s and since then. So people will pay up for kind of the smaller pieces. So this one sold for $15. I had it listed for 20, but they sent me a best offer of 15, and I was happy to take that for just like a very small piece that was broken. And they were all in for $21.69. The next is this yo-yo that was new in the package. I paid $8 for this at an antique mall, and it sold in just a few days for the full asking price of $29.99, and the buyer was all in for $37.81. The next items are these small game pieces to the 1999 Pokemon Master Trainer board game. It was the first Pokemon board game to ever be made. And so I bought an almost complete version, and I decided to part it out instead of selling it as incomplete. And so these 5 little pieces sold for full asking price of $17.99. And the buyer was in Canada, so they were all in for $37.21 for just these really small game pieces, which is pretty cool. Okay, the next items are 2 things I sold on Poshmark. The first one is this like globe plush shaped like planet Earth. I initially thought it was vintage, but then I saw on the tag it said 2006, so of course I took vintage out of the title. But this sold pretty quickly for $19, plus the Poshmark shipping, of course. But typically, I'll list stuff on Poshmark for a little bit higher than I do on eBay because they take more fees out. And also, I feel like on Poshmark, it's pretty common for people to send offers. So I just kind of adjust my prices expecting to get an offer or something like that. And I paid, I think, $2 for this at a thrift store. The next is this vintage baby toy. It's a little squeaky toy shaped like a lion, and I bought this from Facebook Marketplace. I did a local pickup from someone in my town. They were selling a bunch of baby toys from the 1950s through the 70s, and I just thought that was pretty unique items, and I kind of wanted to learn about them. And they were really cheap, so I just decided to go and pick them up. I had about $1 into this, and it sold for $13, plus the Poshmark shipping, of course. Um, and this was the only Mercari sale I had last week, which was kind of weird, but it's okay because the other platforms kind of made up for it. But I sold this DVD for $20 plus shipping, and I think I paid $3 for it, which was kind of a lot for a DVD, but I saw that it had a really good sell-through rate, so I could expect a quick sale, so I was willing to pay up for a quick sale like that. And then the last item is an Etsy sale. This is a little vintage short little posable plush doll toy, and I paid $4 for this at an antique mall, and it sold for $38.99 plus shipping. And yeah, that's it. So let me know if you have any suggestions for videos, or like if you have any critiques of this video, because this is my first one ever. But I'm really glad that I can start sharing what sold every week and maybe even do it bi-weekly. So yeah, thanks for hanging out.